Okay, now joining us from Beijing to talk a little bit more about China's rural revitalization is Qu Qiang. He is the Assistant Director of the International Monetary Institute there. Thanks for joining us. I certainly appreciate it. I know it's early in the morning there for you. Let's first talk about China's rural areas and trying to diversify their sectors beyond agriculture. What are some of the other successful examples, for lack of a better term, and how scalable are these efforts?
Well, you have to understand China is really a large country. By large, we mean not only the territory size, but also the diversity. The gap between the rural areas are really huge, so which makes the government feel it's very difficult to put just in a one model,
Sure,
to fit in all, to help all kinds of the rural areas to find their own way out of the poverty and go towards the prosperity. In China, we have actually about 28 and 80 kinds of the counties, and also we have about 30,000 different townships and nearly 500,000 of different villages. So it's actually a very large quantity. So China, ever since the 2010, started one of the campaigns called Targeted Poverty Alleviation, which means we try to find the fittest model for each villages. For example, in some villages, they are very good in fishing. So we then try to build the fishing industry in there and help them to make it like the cans and etc. And also like the village we have seen in the video, like in Chengdu. Actually, I visited the village before. It's actually marvelous. And they find out they're very good at the tourism because they've been surrounding with the big cities. The people in the cities, they always want to find some leisure time, go to this village and spend some weekends in there, and they spend lots of money inside of this to enjoy this free moment. And then it becomes extra income. And also in some coastal region in China, the village actually built the chip factory, semiconductor industries. So this can be another whole different stories.
Yeah, exactly. I think that one thing that we really need to kind of point out is China is in many ways two different worlds. They have this high-tech world in the major cities, Shenzhen, down in the Bay Area, Beijing, Shanghai, obviously. And then you have about 30% of the people living on less than $5 a day. So it's very important to continue to try to lift these people out of poverty. China's done, what, 800 million people over the last 30 plus years. But within agriculture, farmers are also trying to diversify into higher value as well. Moving on to various products, such as mushrooms, tell us about the potential for other high value products.
Well, actually, if you go to, I'm not talking about Shanghai, surrounding Shanghai's village or surrounding Nanking or Shenzhen's village. I'm talking about, the one that used to be very poor, extremely poor kind of the area. But if you go to this kind of the area right now, you'll find, the whole scenery is very sci-fi. Last week, I was in such kind of the village before in the middle west region of the China, and I see drones spraying all kinds of, fertilizers into the field. Can you imagine they're using the drones to drop bombs in the battlefield? But in China, in the poorest area, they've been using the most advanced drones, to fertilize all kinds of the field, and which much lowered the cost of the local, agriculture. So people will have more of the manual labor because you have to understand in China, in many remote regions, people are getting old and their aging problem can be a problem, and young people just move into the cities for more of the high value job. So how can we leverage the potential in this area? So machine and automation is become a way out. So when we free the people's hand out of the field, so they have more of the time and more of the energy to work on the processing. So for example, they can put the mushroom, not only sell them in fresh, but also make it into the cans, make it into the whole kinds of the snacks, and also help all kinds of the e-commerce platform to brand their own brand online and sell them all over the world. Not like before, they can only sell them into the nearest farmers market with a really low price. This is just only one story, and similar stories happen all around China with the fruits in Xinjiang, with all kinds of sheep and also livestock products in the Gansu provinces, potatoes in Yunnan.
There's no question. Now, what about China trying to balance the rural development with environmental protection? Because we know that has been one of the cornerstones of this government. How difficult is it to do this in environmentally healthy fashion?
Well, it's an excellent question because China really values the balance between the rural protection, poverty alleviation, and environmental issues. Right now, in most of the, 99% of the rural areas in China, heavy industry is not allowed. Well, in the coastal regions, like in Jiangsu provinces or Shanghai cities, around there, probably they will have some high-tech companies in the villages, like the pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, as I mentioned. But mostly they are encouraged to do like the tourism, country tourism, like the food processing, as well as livestock raising or modernized agriculture. So those things are very eco-friendly, and those people will actually benefit a lot from it, more than they go to the factory. So the local government will weigh the balance. They think, okay, let's go green and have more money. That's way better than have heavy industry and have lots of externalities and have less money.
Qu Qiang, I can't thank you enough. Good insight there, my friend. And again, thanks for getting up with us on this early morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.